Hello, third graders. Look what I just found. I think it was left here on purpose so that I would remember to tell you about the special gift you're receiving. This is a special gift of a dictionary. It's designed for third grade students just your age. Now, one this size cannot possibly hold all the words there are in English, but there are over 35,000 words in this dictionary. So you might not find every word you look up, but you will find lots of words. Inside the front cover of your dictionary, there is a book plate. And on that book plate, there's a place to write your name. And so you may write it right there. Also on this book plate is important the people or the groups that gave you this gift. This is the Heritage Fund, the IUPUC Center for Teaching and Learning, and also the Bartholomew Retired Teachers. Those are the folks that have given you this gift. Now, it's your very own, but your teacher may want you to keep it at school to use it this year. But you'll take very good care of it, just like you do if it's a school book, and then you'll have it to keep for always. All right, let's take a look inside. Go to the very next page after the part where you just wrote your name. We have a very important thing, table of contents, so you know what page to look at to find some information. We also have a manuscript and cursive alphabet. If you turn another page, there's information about the dictionary and a poem that was written over 150 years ago about the 9 parts of speech. I bet you didn't even know there were 9 parts of speech. But there are. That's like nouns and pronouns and verbs and adjectives. So this is a poem about that. If you turn another page, you have a page about punctuation, like periods and question marks and commas and when to use those. And then this is really important. This is the pronunciation key. And this key is going to help you when you have a word that you're not sure how to say it. You can look back right here. There's one more page before the actual dictionary starts, and this is the guide to the dictionary. And the guide shows you how this dictionary is set up and how you can find helpful information about each word. Now, there's a really cool thing in the very back of the dictionary. So if you open the dictionary to the back, you'll see a map of the United States. Now, this map has all 50 states and the capitals. Now, 2 of the states are on insets, they're called, and those insets are there because these states are Hawaii and Alaska, and they're way far away, and they'd have to make the book really big to be able to fit them on. So they're in a different spot. So that's not really where they are. All right, if you turn forward another page, multiplication table. Now you've been memorizing your tables, but in case you forget what 9 times 7 is, you can look it up and then you can memorize it so that you'll know what it is next time. There's a prefix table, like if you want to know a billion, giga, and you hear somebody say, oh, it's so many gigabytes, that's a billion. The other side is the periodic table of elements, and the periodic table has things like H for hydrogen. It's a way to abbreviate things that are quite long. Now, this page is really interesting. You've got Braille, and you've got American Sign Language. The Braille side shows you what the bumps would be like if someone were not able to see and they were feeling the letters. Now, in this book, we don't have the thick raised bumps, but you can learn what they are, and then maybe if you see it on a building or a sign, you can know that that's Braille, and for somebody that cannot see well, they can use that. The other side is American Sign Language, and oh my goodness, if you don't hear very well, then you would be using this. In fact, the store clerk used it for me the other day. She was speaking, but she didn't hear well, so she was signing too. Maybe you can find the letters of your name and learn how to sign those letters just by looking at this page. If you go forward another page, you see Roman numerals. And these are most often you'll see on old clocks or on buildings or in the front of older books. Maybe you can find your age and see what your age looks like in Roman numerals. There are words for big numbers. So if you want to see how many zeros a quadrillion has, you can find it out right here. Now there's some really big words here. In fact, the biggest word I know how to spell is on this page. It's second from the bottom, anti-disestablishmentarianism. And I can spell that one without looking. But longer than that, and maybe this is one you've heard of, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So you may want to find that word. Maybe you'll sing the song too. Go forwards one more page and you will get the metric and the English system of measurement. So you will see words like meters and centimeters, or words like inches, and feet. And there's a ruler right here. So you could measure things with your ruler. Like I have a pencil here. I could put my pencil on the ruler and I can see how many inches it is. And my pencil is about 6 inches. And it is just about 15 millimeters. So maybe you could measure your pencil or your pinky finger to see how big your finger is. Now if you go forward one more page, this is probably the coolest thing of all. It has the longest word in the English language. This word has almost 2,000 letters in it. How would you like to have that on your Friday spelling test? Do I know how to say it? No. But the scientists that use this word, it's a type of protein, they use a somewhat shortened form that has letters and numbers. And that is written here too. But when you look at this, you'll know. All right, so why are dictionaries useful? They can help you with things like meanings and pronunciations and spellings, and they can help you find interesting words to use in your writing. So why do you think I am wearing this outfit? Is it usual or unusual? It might be something that someone from Japan might wear to a special festival. But right now, I'm wearing it here and it's unusual. So we are going to use our dictionaries to find some unusual words. I brought some tools with me. I didn't bring a hammer, but a hammer is good for building and repairing things. Some things that a speaker might use, the tools, would be notes, so I don't forget something I want to say, or maybe a cup of water so I can get a drink because maybe my throat gets dry. Even my eyeglasses can be a tool so that I can see things more clearly. Now, when we investigate something, we need tools too. A lot of times our police officers might use fingerprint dust so that they can find someone who might have committed a crime. They might want to use a light and shine that light on something dim that's very difficult to see. Maybe an investigator would use a magnifying lens so that they can bring something that's very small into focus. So these are the tools I'm going to use today. Now let's investigate and find some unusual words in our dictionaries. Let's see, maybe I can shine the light on a word. Oh, here's one right here. Somnambulist. I wonder if your teacher is a somnambulist. Well, a somnambulist starts with an S. So think about where it is in the alphabet. The S's are toward the end, so you need to open your dictionary toward the end. Then you think of the next sound, somnambulist. That could be more than one letter, but it's S-O. So if you find the S-O's on the guide words on the top of your page, the ones that you need are software and sound. And if you still aren't quite there, look for page 311. About halfway down the first column, or the left column, you'll find the word somnambulist. It's a noun, and it means a sleepwalker. Are you a somnambulist? Let's see what else I can do. Let's investigate with the magnifying lens. We'll bring something into focus. I found another one. Preposterous. Preposterous. Starts with a P. When you say the alphabet, M and N are right in the middle. M-N-O-P. So P is just after the middle of the alphabet. So if you open your dictionary to the middle and then just a little farther, you should be able to see the P's. Premonition and printer are your guide words on that page. If you look down the left column of page 258, you should see in the middle the word preposterous. It's an adjective, and it means absurd or ridiculous. I wonder if you can think of anything preposterous. When I asked my husband if he could think of something preposterous, he said, what came to mind was the children's nursery rhyme. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. Can a cow jump over the moon? That's preposterous. So that's what he thought. Maybe you'll find another way to use the word preposterous. Will you continue to be investigators and search your dictionaries to find clues to using better and more interesting words in your writing? Maybe you need to use it to look up a meaning when you can't figure out a word's meaning in context when you're reading. Your teacher has a letter to go home to your parents about the gift you received today. And one more thing, it's always good manners to write a thank you note to someone who's given you a gift. So if you would look back on the book plate and see the 3 groups that gave you a gift, I hope you'll consider writing a thank you note to one of those 3 groups. And I or one of the other people on the dictionary committee would be happy to deliver them for you. So I better gather up my investigation tools, and maybe I'll go do something preposterous. Thank you for your attention, and sayonara, and keep on investigating your dictionary.